What's up, guys? This is Rise, and today is that day of the week where the leagues are changing. The Great League Remix is taking action in the Go Battle League, so what better time to go over some teams? And we're featuring teams from the top trainers from India, some amazing battlers, some of the best players in the world over in India. They don't always get the spotlight or the recognition as maybe some battlers over here in the North American region or maybe in Europe, but some of those battlers in India are world-class, no question about it. What's the Great League Remix? Similar to the Open Great League, 1500 CP limit. However, the top 20, I believe, most used Pokemon from last season are not allowed. So you're going to see a little bit more mixing up of the meta, and we are going to go over some of the top teams to use. So let's get straight into it. Great League Remix. That's the icon. That's what it looks like. And here is the graphic we're going to scooch on over as we go over some of these teams. And Beelzeboy, I always struggle saying his name, Beelzeboy, but has been a long time amazing trainer. He was a member of the Body Slammers faction, which was one of the top factions in North America, and they were like real underdogs. I remember people weren't necessarily expecting them to do that well in certain cycles, and their team just was absolutely dominant. Real underdogs that showed they were world-class players. And he's running Cresselia, Shadow Steelix, which we may be seeing a lot of in this meta, as well as Shadow Charizard. Cresselia, extremely bulky, maybe a Pokemon that you have but might not have great IVs for. I still don't have a great IV Cresselia myself. I'm still trying to get one. But Cresselia, as we know, a spammy and a bulky Pokemon. Steelix on the safe swap is going to make a resurgence, it looks like, in this meta. Steelix was really common in the previous seasons, right? Then Breaking Swipe got nerfed, and suddenly it wasn't as common. But Steelix is going to be, I think, really strong in this meta when you don't have certain counter users to fight against it. And also, Whiscash, I'm sure, is not in this. So that'll help Steelix out and make it a more viable safe swap. And Steelix with that fast move Dragon Tail and the ability to debuff with Psychic Fangs is just such a menace on the safe swap. Can really help you take back switch advantage sometimes. And then Shadow Charizard, one of my personal favorite Pokemon. Just so much fun to use as a closer. If Steelix can get you a shield advantage, or maybe you swap the Steelix, you don't even care about winning back switch, but you debuff your opponent and you leave a big farm down for Charizard. That could be devastating for them to overcome. Beelzeboy, shout out to him. Just recently won the Indian Qualifiers 2024 Championship, so hopefully I'll get to meet him at Worlds in Hawaii. Next trainer, we're featuring Scarlet Wiz, top 3 from the Indian Qualifiers. He's running Mantine in the lead, as well as another Shadow Steelix and Empoleon in the back. Yeah, more of a classic ABB style line. With Steelix, this is a team where you're a little bit more forced, I would say, to swap out the Steelix if you run this line, because you have to lure out any potential counter user or maybe a ground type Pokemon. And that way Mantine can clean it up and hopefully open up that Empoleon in the back. Empoleon, another solid closer. Maybe run the Shadow if you have it. I think the Shadow can be a lot of fun and very oppressive to use. But either way, Empoleon's fun. You know what I noticed is a lot of starter Pokemon tend to be really exceptional closers in the Go Battle League, whether it's like Swampert, Charizard, Venusaur. So many great closers are the starter Pokemon, probably because they have those hard-hitting Community Day charge moves. Third team, Anish got Floppy. Top 4 from the Indian Qualifiers. He's running Empoleon, Gligar, Shadow variant, and Dragonair Shadow. Kind of crazy that Gligar is actually allowed in this meta, considering it's the most common Pokemon in Play Pokemon tournaments right now. But I guess not as many people have a Shadow Gligar per se, so maybe that's why people don't run it as much in the Go Battle League, at least overall, because you gotta remember it's it's the entirety of the Go Battle League. So in higher ELO ranges, you're probably not going to see very much Galarian Stunfisk anymore, but in the lower ELO ranges, people might not be as up to date. People might still be running Galarian Stunfisk because it was so good in the earlier seasons. So I think Galarian Stunfisk is part of the bans, even though it's not that common anymore amongst higher ELO ranges. Anyway, Anish is running Empoleon, Shadow Gligar, Shadow Dragonair. I love Shadow Dragonair in the back. Super impressive. You normally see Dragonair as a lead Pokemon to try and force switch advantage and then line things up in the back. Anish not going for that strategy. he's going for a team that's double weak to ice in the back. So probably going to swap the Dragonair most of the time, I would think, to lure out a potential ice type and then allow Gligar to sweep. Gligar is also a great safe swap itself. That's what Gligar is kind of known for right now, is being a great safe swap. And assuming there's no Skarmory, well, in this meta, there is no Skarmory, right? I don't think so. So Gligar, even better safe swap potentially right now. And Empoleon going to be able to maybe grab those shields in the lead with that heavy-hitting Hydro Cannon and open up the back Pokemon to sweep with their high attack and pressure. Let's move on over, take a sneak peek at these second three teams. Harish, 118, top 8 from the Indian qualifiers. He's running Shadow Magnezone, which we've featured a lot on the channel recently. It's been Shadow Magnezone has been like the star pupil lately of Pokemon Go PvP, as well as Shadow Gligar and Cresselia. So 2 common Pokemon in the back with that Shadow Magnezone in the lead. I could see, well, again, there's no Whiscash, right? And I don't think there's Swampert. I would think Swampert's among the bans. I should probably know that. But assuming those aren't allowed, this team makes a lot of sense. Shadow Magnezone, if you guys want to check out a streamer that's been running Shadow Magnezone to so much success, check out Palasha, one of my teammates. She has gotten to number 3 on the Go Battle League leaderboard now with Shadow Magnezone and Cressel. Oh, actually, this is the Palasha team. What am I talking about? This is actually the Palasha team. So Palasha could keep running her same team apparently in Great League Remix and get it to work. So shout out to Harish running the Palasha team. That's funny. The Magnezone made me think of Palasha, and then I realized it's actually just her team. So yeah, Palasha has been running this team to so much success in the Open Great League, and it's actually a team you can still use in Great League Remix. How about that? Next, Shogun Bohra. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, Shogun. I've played him many times back in the day in like Sil formats, and he's running Greedent, one of my favorite Pokemon, Bubble Jellicent, and Mantine as a closer. Jelly, a terrific safe swap, and with no Lickitung in this meta, right? Jellicent not going to be as threatened to get hard punished by Lickitung, which is just such a terrible matchup for it. Greedent, adorable, and also very spammy with that Mud Shot and Body Slam. The text says Greedent replaces Lickitung in this remix team. Jellicent baits out the Mantine counters, makes a lot of sense. So lures out any potential electric types maybe to free up Mantine in the back. And with that Mud Shot, Body Slam spam, Greedent should be able to clean up any electric types and hopefully lead you to a victory. Cool team from Shogun. And the final battler, Simon plays, apologies, Simon, if I'm mispronouncing your name, but he's running Shadow Poliwrath, Mantine, and Cresselia. No Charger Bug in this meta. I was going to say, like, what jumps out to you, right? Charger Bug just eats this team for breakfast, but no Charger Bug in this meta. And with the most common electric types gone, no Lantern as well, I would presume. These Pokemon are a little bit more safe. You're not going to see as much electric types. Magnezone going to be the primary electric type, and Poliwrath will destroy it with those counters. So this team, I think, makes sense. I'm sure you could see some obscure core breaker like a Dedenne or something that could maybe cause some trouble. But Poliwrath is just such a strong Pokemon, and if your opponent's weak to Poliwrath in the lead, like oftentimes it can pose so much issues, especially if you can like debuff something that comes in and then position yourself where you come out with a huge advantage with the secondary matchup. So Poliwrath is just a really menacing Pokemon. I think it's very strong. Mantine, one of those Pokemon that's like good, but it doesn't have like any sort of hard-hitting pressure, right? Aerial Ace as well as Water Pulse. Usually it's running, sometimes Ice Beam and Wing Attack. So it doesn't like super threaten most things, which is my kind of flaw with Mantine. And then Cresselia, once again, seems to be really common in this meta. So maybe a good opportunity if you have a local scene, if you don't have a Cresselia yet, to try and trade with some friends for a good IV Cresselia. Every time I do like a local raid hour or anything, I always ask somebody if they're willing to trade a Cresselia low friendship. I've probably done 20 plus trades at this point, still yet to get a good IV one, but it will come one day. All that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Shout out to Inadequence for putting this graphic together. I will leave a link to his Twitter where you can see this full graphic and you can download it to your phone and take a look at it. So if you're going through teams and wondering what to run in the Great League Remix. Maybe you can use this for reference and run some of these teams. So shout out to him. Terrific guy, terrific caster, terrific battler. He's a renaissance man, isn't he? He's terrific at everything that he does. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. If you're new, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And all that said, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.